Hello everyone and welcome again to the USMLE Step 1 2021 Microbiological Revision section, where we are discussing about the USMLE. We are on the page 126, 127 on 2021. This is the lecture 4. So talking about this, we are discussing about the bacteria. We have talked about the bacterial structure, then we are talking about the different strain, how we can stain that bacteria, then after staining we can culture the bacteria, and after culturing then we goes for the further identification. Among that, you have to understand one more thing about the bacteria is bacteria can be classified as a three broad term like aerobics, anaerobes and facultative anaerobes. So this is on the basis of the oxygen requirement, on the basis of the presence of the oxygen they can survive or not, and on the basis of the oxygen requirement they can be classified. So some of the organism can survive in the presence of oxygen, and we call them as aerobes. Some of them are died, some of them are killed in the presence of oxygen, and then that are called anaerobes. So the such type of organism doesn't require oxygen. They require an environment where there is an absence of oxygen, only then they can survive, and they are known as the anaerobes. And there is another group of organism known as the facultative anaerobes, and these facultative anaerobes are like organism which usually survives by the presence, we usually utilize the presence of oxygen. They survive with the presence of oxygen, with the utilization of oxygen. But what happened to them that if there is an absence of oxygen, then also they don't die. They actually use other alternative mechanism to maintain the respiration and generate the ATP. So every organism like aerobes, they use the oxygen for the dependent of ATP. Anaerobes, they doesn't survive in the presence of oxygen, and then facultative anaerobes, they actually survive in both conditions. So in the presence of oxygen they can also survive. Usually they live with the presence utilizing the oxygen, but if there is any reason due to the leads to the absence of the oxygen, like inner organ infection, and then that condition, or deep immune infection, in that condition also they can survive, and they can survive by any other mechanism which doesn't require oxygen for generation of ATP. So let me go in a little deep inside it. So aerobes, what are the aerobes? That are the organism that use the oxygen dependent system to generate the ATP. That is very clear. Example are Nocardia, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Bordetella pertussis. These all are the aerobic organism. So aerobic organism, what do they utilize the oxygen dependent system to generate the ATP. Now one thing is a clinical implication is that when you have the apices of the lung apex have more oxygen content than in comparison to the lower one. So there is a reactivation of the TB. This aerobic organism, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, we get infection, mainly reactivation TB at the apex of the lungs, because there is the high oxygen content, and that is you have to understand. So since there is a high oxygen content, and this Mycobacterium tuberculosis is a highly aerobic organism, they require more oxygen. Where is the more oxygen in your lungs? In the apex of the lungs. So they affect more at the apex of the lung when there is a reactivation of tuberculosis. So when you are going to see a tuberculosis patient and you are seeing at the apex of the lung there is a tubercular lesion, you have to understand, okay, this is the reactivation of the TB. That you have to understand clearly. Okay. Now talking about the anaerobes, what are the anaerobes? They lack the catalase. Why they cannot survive in the presence of oxygen? Because they lack the catalase and or superoxide dismutase, and thus susceptible to the oxidative damage. So look, oxygen is catalyzed by this oxygen when they get contact with the hydrogen, then form the superoxide, then convert into hydrogen peroxide, and that hydrogen peroxide get damaged by this catalase into H2O and O2. So this catalase and superoxide dismutase is very much requirement for the breakdown of this oxygen dependent system, oxygen dependent, that are free radicals. So when there is a free radical production due to the oxygen dependent, that can be damaged, that can be breakdown by this catalase and superoxide dismutase. These two organisms is required, but in anaerobic organism they lack this catalase and superoxide dismutase. Since there is a lack of this catalase and superoxide dismutase, they become susceptible, they get killed by the oxidative damage, by the oxidative free radicals, and because of that they cannot withstand or survive in the presence of the oxygen. Okay, examples of this organism like Clostridium, Bacteroides, Fusobacterium and Actinomyces isolae, and these are the organisms they require no oxygen environment, so they will cause you the infection that will be the deep inside your wound, mainly the wound infection if they are causing. So they will require the anaerobic environment where their oxygen is not present, that there will be no superficial infection, that you have to understand. Okay, Now generally they will cause foul smelling like short chain fatty acid and are difficult to culture, because we know all environment we have to create an oxygen lack environment, absence of oxygen environment to culture this organism. So it will be very difficult for us. Although we can generate in lab, we create a anaerobic environment in an anaerobic jar where we pull out all the oxygen, or we use the catalyst that utilize the oxygen inside that jar, so there will be no oxygen, and since there will be no oxygen, there will be create of an anaerobic environment. Okay. So one major thing you have to understand is that they also are produce gas in the tissue like carbon dioxide and hydrogen gas. Another thing important is aminoglycoside. All anaerobes are resistant, intrinsically resistant to aminoglycoside. What means aminoglycoside like amikacin, gentamicin, this drug will not work in the anaerobes. Why they cannot be worked? Because they require, for action of this antibiotic, they require oxygen dependent transport. So oxygen is required for the transport of this antibiotic into the cell, and if there is no oxygen, this antibiotic will be not transport into the cell, and since there will be no transport of this antibiotic into the cell, there will be no action, and the bacteria will not going to die. So aminoglycosides are intrinsically resistant to the anaerobes, that you have to understand. So if you are growing anaerobes and you can put aminoglycoside, this should be intrinsically resistant, it will come resistance. That is the one of the, like if you are growing anaerobic in a creating anaerobic environment in a jar, then you have put your organism, you are growing the culture of your anaerobic organism, and you have putting metronidazole and aminoglycoside. Metronidazole are they kill this anaerobic organism, so there will be a metronidazole will be sensitive, but aminoglycoside should be resistant. So one sensitive, one resistant, then this will also, antibiotic will also give you a clue that okay, these are the anaerobic organism. Okay. Now comes to the facultative anaerobes. Facultative anaerobes, you have to understand this. This is a very common organism. All common organism are the facultative anaerobes, because they can survive in any condition. They use the fermentation and other non-oxygen dependent pathway to generate ATP, but they are not killed by oxygen. So when there is oxygen, they utilize the oxygen. When there is no oxygen, they can use fermentation and other non-oxygen dependent pathway to generate the ATP. You have to understand clearly. So they can survive anywhere this is the may use oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor to generate the ATP. So they can use usually oxygen as a O2 as a terminal electron acceptor to generate the ATP, but can also use fermentation and other oxygen independent pathway for its survival when there is no oxygen. They can survive in the presence of oxygen, but if there are no oxygen, they can also survive by using a fermentive and other oxygen independent pathway. I am repeatedly saying this because facultative anaerobes are most of the bacteria which we will talk about, which we are medically importance. They are all facultative anaerobes. Only few of them are aerobes and few of them are anaerobes, but most of them are facultative anaerobes. Example, you can say of the gram-positive like Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, in gram-negative, all enteric bacteria. So you have heard about all enterobacteria like E. coli, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, Cytobacter, all the enteric bacteria. So they all are facultative anaerobes. On the basis of oxygen presence, this is important because we can identify this organism accordingly. Thank you.